We are live in 3, 2, 1.
Go! A state trooper pulls a man from a burning truck right before it explodes, and it's all captured on a body camera.
I know you've said you've heard us, and I don't wish to offend, but you haven't.
Tensions rise as Salt Lake City Council approves a new development.
Super Tuesday brings super results for some presidential candidates. Welcome to NewsLine. It's Wednesday, March 4th, 2020. I'm Andrea Cabrera.
And I'm Bella Erickson. Super Tuesday indeed. Former Vice President Joe Biden had a Super Tuesday himself, and Senator Bernie Sanders wasn't too shabby either.
Both presidential hopefuls picked up a lot of pledged delegates. John Lawrence reports.
Joe Biden scores big on Super Tuesday.
So I'm here to report we are very much alive!
The former vice president is projected to win the most Super Tuesday states, including Texas, and says he'll strive to bring bipartisanship back to Washington.
We can't have a never-ending war between the parties. We need a president who can fight, but make no mistake about I can fight, but look, we need as badly, someone who can heal.
Senator Bernie Sanders also collected a healthy amount of delegates Tuesday and says he's not backing down to Biden.
I tell you with absolute confidence, we are going to win the Democratic nomination.
Or anyone else.
And we are going to defeat the most dangerous president in the history of this country.
Senator Elizabeth Warren's campaign is struggling. She even lost her home state of Massachusetts to Biden.
Cast a vote from your heart and vote for the person you think will make the best president of the United States.
Former New York City Mayor Mike Bloomberg doesn't leave Super Tuesday empty-handed. He won American Samoa.
In just 3 months, we've gone from 1% of the polls to being a contender for the Democratic nomination for president.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Earlier this morning, presidential candidate Mike Bloomberg announced he will be dropping out of the Democratic race.
That's right, and fresh off his Utah rally, Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders wins the state Democratic presidential primary. In the Beehive State, Sanders won the vote with 34.6%. Former Vice President Joe Biden came in second at 17.2%, and former New York City Mayor Mike Bloomberg won the third slot with 16.9%. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren settled for the fourth position with 15.4% of the total votes. Sanders continued with his popularity in Utah, which he won against Hillary Clinton 4 years ago.
Super Tuesday drew the highest voting turnout for presidential primary election state, Utah state history. 32.5% in active votes participated in the presidential primary election, with almost 480,000 total votes. 68% of ballots were cast in the Republican race, and 36% were cast in the Democratic race.
A bill to prohibit single-mark straight ticket voting has been unanimously approved by a Senate committee. The bill, sponsored by Democratic Representative Patrice M. Arndt, would ban voters from casting a vote for all candidates from one political party without voting for the candidates individually.
A Utah bill requiring doctors to show a woman an ultrasound before performing an abortion passed through the Judiciary Committee. The bill states that a physician or technician would need to perform a mandated ultrasound, describe the ultrasound, display images, and make the fetal heartbeat audible for each woman before she could decide to get an abortion. The bill will now move to the full House.
And a bill to create Utah Raptor State Park failed in the Senate Natural Resources Committee due to lack of funding. The measure would have established the state park near Arches National Park to develop and preserve a dinosaur quarry and the surrounding area. But the estimated $10 million cost of establishing the state park has held up the approval process.
The Salt Lake County Council votes yes to the controversial Olympia Hills development in Harriman. Kim Peterson was at the meeting last night. Kim, was it a close vote?
I'm here at the Salt Lake County Government Center, where the Salt Lake County Council just voted 6-3 for approving the Olympia Hills development. While community members say they're not surprised, they are disappointed.
We want to welcome all of you to our Salt Lake County Council meeting.
I was hoping that the council would actually listen to our valid concerns.
The Olympia Hills development proposal has been a controversial topic since it was introduced in 2018. initial plan is to develop a full-functioning community in Olympia Hills, just west of Harriman in the Ochre Foothills. The current proposal is to build 6,330 units of housing in an effort to solve the Salt Lake Valley housing shortage. However, community members didn't see it that way.
You're about to cross a line of no return, and I'm here with a tiny glimmer of sad hope that two of you will somehow find the courage to do the right thing. I know you've said you've heard us, and I don't wish to offend, but you haven't.
Were arguments kind of telling us that you don't really see the big picture?
After community members had the chance to voice their opinions, the vote was called.
Bradshaw.
Aye.
Snellgrove.
No.
Winder Newton.
No.
Jensen. DeBry.
Nay.
And Chairman Burdick.
Aye.
But not every council member agreed.
I live out there. My family lives smack dab in the middle of where we're talking about. The issues that have been raised here is real. They're genuine. They're legitimate.
You know, I'm disappointed. I feel for these people who live in the southwest part of Salt Lake County, and this has got to be a frustrating thing for them.
Residents refuse to give up hope even though the Olympia Hills Development Project has been approved.
We're Harriman residents. We are Harriman. We will rise up. You will hear the voice of the people.
Moving forward, there will be a public press release on Wednesday night to announce the referendum process, and that will be at Mountain Ridge High School in Harriman at 7 o'clock. Reporting from Salt Lake City, I'm Kim Peterson. Back to you.
Thanks, Kim. The Utah Department of Health has set up a coronavirus information desk. They want anyone who suspects they may have the virus to call the hotline. Trained healthcare experts will answer questions and concerns for those reaching out. The Utah Department of Health will provide numerous language translations to ensure efficient communication. The Utah Coronavirus Information Hotline is 1-800-456-7707.
And Mark Jorgensen, the only confirmed coronavirus patient in Utah, says he is receiving death threats.
Honestly, some of that fear has gone off to a little bit too crazy, and that makes us a little bit nervous.
In a live video posted on his Facebook page, Jorgensen documents his battle with the coronavirus. He says he received a call from his doctor and that law enforcement needs to meet with him concerning threats to his life. He also says that his wife, Jerry, is not infected and that it is very safe to be around her. School districts have addressed parents regarding the coronavirus and the safety measures in plan for a local outbreak. Letters from Salt Lake City and Canyon School District say that the districts have been in close contact with the health department for the past several weeks about this very issue. Their academic team has also started discussion on how students could continue learning online or in other formats if schools are closed for a significant amount of time.
Qualtrics announces that they will be postponing the X4 conference due to the current state of the coronavirus. The co-founder and CEO of Qualtrics addressed the 16,000 attendees via Twitter, saying, "Nothing is more important than the safety and health of our employees, customers, and partners. We've been monitoring the global developments surrounding coronavirus day and night." They are set to reschedule for next fall, and the new dates will be announced on the coming weeks on the X4 website. The Provo Police Department gives tips on preventing risk of getting the coronavirus. Provo Police says to make sure you get enough sleep, eat nutritiously, stay physically active, and manage your stress levels. They also advise to stay home if you are ill and avoid close contact with people. Cleaning with disinfectants and wiping surfaces that people have touched can reduce the risk of getting the virus.
They call it Queer Meals, a way for members of the LGBTQ community in Provo to eat in a safe space and talk through their worries. NewsLine reporter Rachel Smith tells us about the family who started the program and why it helps save lives.
Efforts are being made throughout Utah to create safe spaces for LGBTQ individuals, and one of those safe spaces can be found right here in Provo.
Geraldine Hasselpool and Jeff Poole started Queer Meals about 2 years ago after they saw the struggle that some LGBTQ individuals face.
And we found one of the best ways to connect people with resources was over a meal and to talk about what their needs were and connect with resources and build a community for people who need community in Provo.
While they have created a fun and inclusive space, the couple says that many in the LGBTQ community continue to suffer and may feel isolated and alone.
The distress is real. There's really people in crisis right at your feet, and you don't know it.
Emily Mullis came out their freshman year at BYU and says the Queer Meals program helps them deal with difficult times.
I just found like this community of
LGBTQ folks, queer people that had had experience with the LDS Church. And for me, that's such a niche experience. Being able to find people that did get that was just really cool.
For more information about Queer Meals or to donate, please visit queermeals.org. Reporting for NewsLine in Provo, I'm Rachel Smith.
The Show Me state is under several tornado watches.
They're, walking through rubble trying to find the last pieces of what they owned.
We'll show you the latest on the cleanup and rescue efforts after a devastating twister tore through Tennessee.
Talk about a snack attack. This woman brings a whole new meaning to the word hangry. We'll tell you what she wanted and why she lost control.
Testament to the fact that you can become whatever you want to become.
Black History Month comes to an end. We'll show you the musical celebration at BYU and share their inspirational advice.
Plus severe storms across the U.S. today, where they're hitting and if they'll impact your weekend, coming up in the full forecast.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Get it.
Get it.
Get it.
Give your town a reason to celebrate, because every Goodwill item you bring home brings job training and more to your community. Goodwill, bring good home.
Take a look at this body camera footage of 2 New Jersey state troopers pulling a man out of a burning truck.
You all right? All right.
The semi hit a guardrail and bridge and then burst into flames. The driver only suffered minor injuries and will be okay.
Caught on video, security footage from Stockton, California shows a woman trashing a restaurant after the cashier refused to give her a refund for her sandwich. Take a look at this video. The customer starts violently trashing the store. She grabs the broom and tries hitting the owner, then throws the chair and broom before attempting to get away. The woman is facing charges of assault with a deadly weapon.
At least 25 people are dead, and the search for more people buried in the rubble of collapsed homes and buildings is underway after a tornado tore through parts of Tennessee. Camila Bernal is on the ground in Nashville with the latest.
Piles of rubble and the devastation of buildings and neighborhoods, that behind every pile really represents people. It's businesses that have lost, it's families that are hurting. It's people that have really seen the destruction of this.
A powerful tornado leaving entire communities leveled in Tennessee. The storm striking under the cover of darkness, leaving behind a trail of carnage in the middle of the night. Tennessee's governor says the people of his state need hope more than anything else.
I talked to a person today who had lost everything that they owned completely. They're, walking through rubble trying to find the last pieces of what they owned, and they had previously, earlier in the day, been called upon to identify bodies of victims.
The National Guard has also been deployed to help search for people who might be buried in the devastation.
There are missing people. There are still people that are unaccounted for.
And President Trump is planning to witness the loss firsthand on Friday.
Our hearts are full of sorrow for the lives that were lost. It's a vicious thing, those tornadoes.
In Nashville, I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
Severe storms are still hitting the southeastern states right now. You can see on this map the areas that are under different watches and warnings today. So right over here, you can see the yellow counties in Texas and Louisiana. Those are severe thunderstorm watches. The greens right here on this map, those are flash flood watches. And right over here, the red that's in southern Alabama into Georgia, those are tornado watches. So there's still potential for a lot of tornadoes today. But I want to show you what the radar is looking like for this picture. You can see right here, good line of severe storms all the way leaving from Lubbock all the way over here into Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina. These storms are the ones that have moved down from Tennessee. So Tennessee is not getting hit anymore with this line of severe storms, but you can see right here in this belt a lot of severe weather happening today. Most of those watches and warnings will expire later tonight into early morning. Now I'm going to put on the fronts for you here. You can see this is why they're getting a lot of storms right here. Low pressure system, but Utah, very clear, high pressure system. But this little guy up here, this cold front, is going to move down into Utah this weekend, which is going to give us some colder temperatures and likely some precipitation. But I'll walk you through that in just a minute. Today, though, our temperatures are looking nice. We're in that warming trend. So Logan's going to be at 46 degrees, 25 for your overnight low. Salt Lake City at 54 degrees, 35 there for your overnight low, 58 at Provo, 50 in Vernal, 62 in Moab. So these nice temperatures are going to continue getting warmer. You can see even our overnight lows, 35 in Salt Lake City, 31 in Provo, 27 in Price, down here in St. George, 39. All of those are going to continue to get warmer as well. Now our 5-day forecast for southern Utah. You're going to have a nice few days, 73 degrees tomorrow and 72 on Friday. Partly cloudy skies will roll in on Saturday with potential for a few showers on Sunday. You will cool down a few degrees, 64 and 65 on Sunday and Monday. Now for northern Utah, those showers are going to last quite a bit longer. So tomorrow and Friday are going to be our best days. 67 degrees on Friday with partly cloudy skies, but then on Saturday and Sunday, Saturday is a 20% chance of rain. Monday is about 50 or 54 degrees. That is when the chance of rain goes higher, and we'll continue seeing that rainstorm into the next work week. Bella, back to you.
Thanks, Danny. Black History Month wrapped up with a gospel music bang in BYU's Fine Arts Center last night. Maddie Williams is live on BYU campus. Maddie, just how many people turned out for this event?
There were hundreds. People crammed into BYU's the Young Concert Hall last night for music, dancing, and some impromptu love songs in a celebration entitled We Shall Overcome.
In a participatory concert, professional musicians, led by pianist and singer Damian Sneed, kept the audience engaged and on their feet in a multi-genre performance. Sneed shared his story of overcoming challenge in echo to Dr. King.
I am a testament to the fact that you can become whatever you want to become. Even if you've been labeled like me as autistic, you can be whatever you want to be.
For some audience members, an unexpected opportunity to overcome came with the invitation to step on stage and share their definition of love in song.
I thought what they did was so genuine and authentic. They really just brought what they were feeling inside, and some of them were able to do it with, rhyming lyrics.
The artists met concert attendees afterwards for autographs, pictures, and the chance to share their favorite parts of the performance.
I think stuff like this should be happening more often, it should be more common, and more people should be wanting to be involved, more people should be paying attention and listening to these voices. I really loved it.
It's been more than 60 years since Dr. King's famous speeches, but as these musicians have proved in Provo, we shall overcome. Back to you.
Thanks, Maddie. Interested in art and history? NewsLine reporter Maren Smith shares more on a Russian art exhibit in Springville.
The Soviet Stories Layers of Reality exhibit at the Springfield Museum of Art displays paintings and sculptures from Russian artists. Art in the Soviet Union was used as one medium of propaganda to spread communist ideals. Artists who did not create works approved by the government faced interrogation, imprisonment, and even execution. In some ways, Russian art created a fantasy world of how the Bolsheviks wanted their lives to be seen. Although life in the Soviet Union was difficult, the artwork portrays happy, healthy children, a glorified working class with strong, independent men and women, industrious cities, and courageous soldiers. Emily Larson, the head of exhibitions and programs at the museum, shares more about the exhibit.
As you walk around the exhibition, you'll see they're grouped. So we have some that explore certain themes, like the ones behind me are all about different places and events. There's a wall about all women at work. There's walls about war. And so there's all these layers of meaning. Some parts of them are propaganda. Some parts are the artist's voice. Some parts show what life was really like in the Soviet Union, and some parts are idealized. And we want to ask our viewers to kind of look at those different layers and decipher what they think the artworks mean.
This exhibit will be held until March 10th. The museum is open Tuesday through Saturday starting at 10 a.m. For more information, visit the museum's website. This is Maren Smith reporting in Springville for NewsLine.
Coming up, BYU basketball takes over the all-conference awards. Find out all of the awards the Cougars took home. Also, the WCC tournament begins today, but what does BYU need to do in order to stamp their ticket to the championship game? I'll give you all the details coming up.
Always stay humble and kind. Don't expect a free ride from no one. Don't hold a grudge or a chip, and here's why. Bitterness keeps you from flying. Always stay humble and kind. Yeah.
$150 over 90.
180 over 111.
160 over 110. I had a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life. Lowering them could save you from having a stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
Now I'm, trying to get better, stronger than ever.
BYU seniors Yoli Childs, TJ Haws, and Jake Toulson earned all WCC first-team recognition yesterday, and Toulson was named Newcomer of the Year as well.
Trying to guard Colby Lee. Toulson for three, way outside.
The three seniors led BYU to their first top 25 ranking since 2011, and with 13 conference wins this season, that is tied for the most league wins since joining the WCC in 2011. BYU's added on a successful 81.3 win percentage in WCC play, which is their best since joining the conference. The Cougars are now the #2 seed in the WCC tournament for the first time since 2015. This is Child's third first-team appearance. TJ Haws is making his fourth overall WCC honor and his second first-team nod, his first since his freshman year. And Jake Toulson has had a breakthrough year for himself, making the all-conference team for the first time. Not only are the men making their mark on the conference play, but also the women, as BYU center Sarah Hampson was named the WCC Women's Basketball Defensive Player of the Year. Hampson has been all over the defensive side of the ball, leading the NCAA in blocks per game with 4.75 and in total blocks with 133 in only 28 games. Along with Hampson, Brenna Drollinger and Paisley Johnson also received honors being named to all WCC first team. Today, the WCC tournament begins. However, BYU has a relatively short road to get to the WCC championship game. So this is the bracket for the WCC tournament. This is how it's all going to be laid out. The lower seeds, the 9 and the 8 and the 7 and the 10, will be going up against each other today, and the winner of those games will be going on to play in the next game every single day until we get over to where BYU comes into play on Monday. BYU will be facing off against one of these teams, whoever gets there, and then BYU, if they're able to win that game, they will be facing one of the teams on the other side of the bracket in the championship game on Monday. BYU baseball edged out a win over Utah Valley University yesterday in front of their home crowd, but it was not a walk in the park by any means. Down 4-1 coming into the second inning, BYU scored 4 unanswered runs over the course of the game to get the comeback and the win. BYU is now 7-6 on the season. Tomorrow, the Cougars travel to Oklahoma State to take on Oklahoma State. We'll be right back.
Excuse me, ma'am. Would you like to have my seat?
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
I need to get rid of some hair. Oh, man. What do you think? Shorter, please. Shorter.
I will stand by you. I will help you through. When you've done all you can do, you can
being there. Pass it on.
I will dry your eyes.
There's no need for a doggy bag at a Washington area food truck that serves healthy fast food treats for dogs.
We got our doggies. It just changed me, man. My breathing, my patience, my anxiety, the depression.
Ron and Solo Holloway opened Wolf Bowl in Virginia. Ron, a U.S. veteran, was suffering from PTSD, and that's why they got their dogs in the first place. Hollow says their food is made fresh every day. How great of a story is that?
So cute. Thanks for joining us today.
Have a great day.